Hear the courage and imagination of Jesus in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 13. At that very hour, some Pharisees came and said to Jesus, "Get away from here, for Herod wants to kill you." Jesus said to them, "Go and tell that fox for me, 'Listen, I am casting out demons and performing cures today and tomorrow, and on the third day I finish my work. Yet today, tomorrow, and the next day I must be on my way, because it is impossible for a prophet to be killed outside of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to it. How often have I desired to gather your children together as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, and you were not willing. See, your house is left to you, and I tell you, you will not see me until the time comes when you say, 'Blessed is the one who comes in the name of our God.'"
Wait for our God, whose day is near. Wait for our God, be strong, take heart. Wait for our God, whose day is near. Wait for our God, be strong, take heart. Wait for our God, whose day is
Hear what the Spirit is saying to us in Just Beyond Yourself, a poem by David White. Just beyond yourself. It's where you need to be. Half a step into self-forgetting, and the rest restored by what you'll meet. There is a road always beckoning. When you see the two sides of it closing together at that far horizon, and deep in the foundations of your own heart, at exactly the same time, that's how you know it's the road you have to follow. That's how you know it's where you have to go. That's how you know you have to go. That's how you know. Just beyond yourself, it's where you need to be.
Let us journey into a remarkable text we know as Psalm 27. God is my light and my salvation. Whom then shall I fear? God is the refuge of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies, attack to devour me, they stumble and fall back. When a mighty army encamps against me, my heart shall not be afraid. When war rises up against me, I will put my trust in the Holy One. One thing I asked of God, that I will continue to search after, to live in the house of God all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of my Creator and to pray in the temple. For God will hide me in the shelter in the day of trouble. God will conceal me under the cover of their tent. God will set me high on a mighty rock. Now my head is lifted up above my enemies. They are all around me. I will offer in God's tent sacrifices with shouts of joy. I will sing and make melody to the Holy One. There are some psalms we all know and love. I wonder, what's your favourite psalm? Most famously, we all know Psalm 23, which we sang a few weeks back at the celebration of Susan Nicholson's life. Susan chose these words: God is my shepherd, I shall not want. But none of us dare think for one moment that Susan thought that that meant that she and all of us didn't have to roll up our sleeves, wash our hands thoroughly, and just get on with the job. Psalm 27, which we are exploring this morning, is also very well known. God is my light and my salvation. Whom then shall I fear? The priestly editors who compiled the Jewish Psalms, many years after the exile in Babylon, often merged two or more oral traditions. And that's probably what we have in the psalm this morning. The first 6 verses offer praise to Yahweh. Verse 3 confidently declares, war may break out, but I will trust in God. We might wonder, where is that happening in the world today? Sudan? Ukraine? Gaza? The first 6 verses are a testament to faith, courage, and trust. I want to suggest this morning that the message of faith is not that a supernatural being will take care of us. That's our job, yours and mine, to care for ourselves, for others, and Mother Earth. The message and confidence of faith is that the loving and gracious reality we name as God cares for us, not that a supernatural force will take care of us. In the contemporary words of the poet David White, the psalmist is looking just beyond themselves to dimensions of love and care. But there is another voice in the nuance of this psalm, which we will hear after singing the chant.
God, when I cry aloud. Have pity and answer my prayer. Come, my heart says, seek God's face. Your face, O God, do I seek. Do not hide your face from me and turn your servant away in your anger. You have been my help. Do not cast me off. Do not forsake me, O God of my salvation. Even if my parents forsake me, God will take me up. Teach me your way, O God, and lead me on a level path because of my enemies. Do not give me up to the will of my adversaries. They tell lies about me and make violent threats.
If this voice sounds like a different psalmist, that's because it probably was. Or maybe a different group of people, or maybe all of us at some points in our lives. The confidence and courage of the first 6 verses have gone. The second psalmist is pleading with Yahweh. They think that God is hiding from them. They cannot see God, but they are surrounded with lies and violence. This, I think, is the voice of fear. In the words of David White again, it's the fear of a road which is always beckoning. Now, we can avoid this voice of fear, this beckoning. We can pretend it isn't there. We can medicate it with drugs and alcohol, or we can bury it with the busyness of good old-fashioned churchianity. But the unknown fear, that far horizon, remains. The ancient psalmist gives voice to our deepest fears. But for the priestly editors, fear could not be the final word. Psalm 27, the final 2 verses. I believe that I shall see the goodness of the Holy One in the land of the living. Wait for our God. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for our God. The editors of this psalm could not end on a note of fear, as real as the fear might be. So the lamenting pilgrim on their journey regains faith in the goodness of life. Both these voices, those of praise and lament, those of courage and those of fear, are authentic human voices. Both are part of the journey of faith for us as individuals, but also for us as the Pitt Street community as we face change and challenge in 2025. In April, we will welcome our interim minister in placement, the Reverend Vlad Korotkov. Intentional interim ministry has evolved in the Uniting Church to give space for congregations between ongoing placements to sort of press the pause button for a time. I'm not referring to writing a new mission plan or updating our KPIs, as useful as those tools might be. What I'm referring to is deep reflection on ourselves as a community of faith seeking to follow the way of Jesus in the heart of Sydney. In this season of Lent, we journey with Jesus and their friends in company, yet strangely alone, on the road to the cross. May we know grace and peace as we move beyond our fears and touch the heart of life itself. Amen.